Hola from Punta Cana. This weekend, I'm in Punta Cana to check out properties for my Airbnb business. And I wanted to share with you guys the differences between purchasing an Airbnb in Dominican Republic and purchasing an Airbnb in the United States. There are very big differences that may shock you as an American, so I wanted to go over them with you because they shocked me. Cultural differences also, but the cultural differences is not a big deal to me, but the business-wise, some of the differences are huge. So I want to equip you with information, so if you're coming here and you want to purchase an Airbnb business here, you know what to expect when you get here. One thing culturally that's different is time. The way we do business in the States and the way Dominican people do business is very different. Like, they like to spend time with their family. Their Sundays are, they spend time on Sundays. So don't message your lawyer on a Sunday or message your realtor on a Sunday, because Sunday is sacred. They like to go to church. It's a very Catholic country, and they like to just be with their family. They like to go to the beach and go to the restaurants. But it's not just that. Even when you apply for a mortgage, if you were to apply for a mortgage with the bank here, they just take a long, sweet time to do their paperwork. They're not rushing. You know what I'm saying? They like their downtime, they like to go out and party. So you have to respect that and understand that you're doing, business in a different country. So obviously the cultures are going to be different. But business-wise, if you're buying property here for your Airbnb, there's huge differences. I'm going to go over 4 of them. My name is Martine. I am an Airbnb expert. I studied hospitality in a graduate program at NYU, and I also made 7 figures on Airbnb. So I want to teach you how to start a successful Airbnb business in the Dominican Republic. But first, we're going to go over the 4 major differences between the States and Dominican Republic. The very first one, which I had to get used to after months of seeing property, is a lot of stuff is pre-construction, especially if you're coming to Punta Cana, which is the #1 destination in Dominican Republic. You will most likely not even see a model property. Yesterday, I was able to see a model property with my realtor, and that was a first. You usually will see a video, a photo, or a schema of a property, and you're just gonna have to trust that the property is gonna look the way that it looks on the photo or video. That's the way they do business here. This is not allowed in the United States. So what they do is they collect money from all the purchasers, me, her, he, she, them, they, and they put together and they build the property after they've collected the money. This is very, very different for me as an American, and it took a lot of getting used to. So don't be alarmed if you come here and you want to purchase property in Punta Cana and all you get to see is a plot of land. And sometimes you get to see the guys working if they're on phase 2 or 3. So you have to be very careful when you're doing business here that you do business with a reputable builder. So in America, this is called a Ponzi scheme. So if you take money from different people so you could build other people's properties or anything, investment, that's called a Ponzi scheme, but that is allowed here. And it works out well if you're dealing with a reputable builder. The flip side of it is a lot of people come here, I don't know if they start off on the right foot or the wrong foot, but what ends up happening is they run out of money and they can't ask you for more money because you agreed to pay X amount of money, and then they take off with all your money because they can't finish the project. So that's the downside. So make sure you use a reputable builder when you're coming here because of the pre-construction, dynamics that's allowed in this country. They collect your money first and then they build your property so that you don't get scammed. The second difference is a lot of Americans don't know this, is the realtors are not licensed. It's an unregulated market here in Dominican Republic. A lot of realtors are not licensed. In America, if a realtor does shady things, you can go after their license, you can go after whoever they're working under, the main brokerage they're working under, but here, nobody's licensed. So I can wake up this morning and make myself a realtor and I don't need a license. And I have no experience. And I say, hey, I'm working on a project with this builder. I need 10% down. You need to give me $3,000, and I collect a bunch of $3,000 from people and I take off. So I did an IG live with a realtor, and she answered questions. And I also did a reel on my Instagram on how to find a realtor and not get scammed. And the best way to do that is to get a referral. If you know a Dominican person who lives here, who purchased property here, you can get a referral from them on who their realtor is. This way you know you're in good hands, and do also a Google search on the realtor and make sure that they are reputable, they're not doing funny business. Because as an American, I was alarmed to find out that the realtors here are not licensed. I had to get used to that. The third thing that I still have not gotten used to as an Airbnb business owner is the length of time that it takes for you to get your property. So I made a huge amount of money in New York City through rental arbitrage, which means I've leased out property in Manhattan, in the Times Square area. I leased out property for years and I furnished them. And within 10 to 15 days, they were on Airbnb, making me $7,000, $6,000 a month, each property. I did that with 10, 15 properties. So I made tons of money. I made 7 figures doing that. And so I was able to up and running really quick. I get my property, I go to IKEA, I furnish it, and then I list it on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, and make a killing. So when they told me that it takes 12 to 18 months to get a property delivered to me here, I almost fainted. This is not something I'm used to. So as an American, this is not something that you're used to either. It takes 12 to 18 months to get your property once you finish paying the 50%. It's just something I still can't get used to. Like, I just can't. It takes a long time to get your property. So if you see a property a model that you like, and you put the $1,000 to reserve it, and you got to put the 20% to get a contract, it takes you a year to 18 months. I saw property yesterday that they're building specifically for Airbnb hosts that will be ready in 2025. As an American, I just can't wrap that around my brain. So get used to that. A lot of pre-construction in Punta Cana specifically take 18 months, 24 months, 36 months. Once again, it's because the builder is collecting money to build a property. So that's just the way it is here in Sosua. I did look at a property that I liked that was through a seller who already owned her property for 5 years. And I really liked the property. It was well situated. It was behind a casino. I loved it, but the deal fell through because she wanted to sell both villas to one person. I only wanted to purchase one villa because I'm starting a new business here and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So you can find people who are selling their properties. Make sure that it's a property that's Airbnb friendly, that you're gonna make money off of. But if you're gonna come up here to Punta Cana, or you're gonna buy property in Sosua, or even in La Capital, Santo Domingo, a lot of the stuff is pre-construction. They won't be ready for 2 years. Lastly, something that they do here that I find to be incredibly brilliant is builder financing. So the builders offer you financing because the Dominican Republic government wants you to invest in the country because it's so promising. It's booming. Tourism is booming. The country invested $5 billion in tourism last year. So they want foreign investors to come here. And so the builders are incentivizing you by financing 40% or up to 50% of your home with no credit check, no income check, nothing. All you have to do is do the 50% payment structure with them, and then you finance the rest in-house. I don't know of this type of in-house financing that goes on in the States, but if you're a person with bad credit in America, but you have money to spend, like you have $50,000 to spend on a property here, this is a great idea. I think it's so brilliant. Very smart way to attract people who have bad credit into the country to invest in the country. And once you do well with that one property, you can invest money into getting a second property and do builder financing without needing all that cash up front. So I think that's one of the best things they offer here that they don't offer in the States. So if you're coming here to purchase property, I wanted to share with you the differences between American market and the Dominican Republic market, so you're not alarmed when you find out these things. Like I said, I'm an Airbnb expert. I made a killing on Airbnb, and I teach people how to make 6 and 7 figures with their Airbnb business. So please like and subscribe to my channel. It's a brand new channel. You can also find me on Instagram, where I post content every week on how to make money bags on Airbnb. So I hope this has been very helpful to you, and I will see you in the next video. One last brilliant thing that they're doing in Dominican Republic Airbnb wise is there are no Airbnb regulations here. That is the opposite of the States. In the past year, I've been posting on my Instagram how the States have instituted regulations in every major destination in the country. Atlanta, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, New York City is about to have another regulation. Buffalo, the DMV, any place that's hot in the US now has an Airbnb regulation. What that means is they are limiting how many properties you can have on Airbnb. Meanwhile, Dominican Republic is doing the opposite. They're creating properties for Airbnb, and they have 0 regulations here. Okay, that is very entrepreneurial friendly. So if you want to start an Airbnb in a place that has no regulations, they're not going to be up your butt about how many properties you have, this is the place for you. DR is also the #1 visited place in the Caribbean. So this is a magical place. I just absolutely love all the things they're doing for entrepreneurs here. And I hope that my video has been helpful to you if you're thinking of starting a business here.